All right. Due to the fact that I am not there, I'm going to make your life very easy for this one. I just want you guys to think back and remember how a sequence is linear or quadratic. So I'm just going to give you the definition, and then I'm going to give you the very basic for recursives. For the recursive equations, you guys do not need to write them for the quadratics, but I do want you to write them for the linears. So, linears, how do I know if something is linear? Linears, they have a first difference. And that gives you your D, your common difference. Quadratics have a second difference. So when you're going through and you're trying to find the first, if it's not the same, you look for the second. So it'd be like, oh, I go through each one of these and it's not the same, so then I look for the next set. Okay? I'm not doing those for you. Now, a recursive. And again, you only need to write the recursive for the linears. I'm not going to get into the quadratics. Recursive. It's whatever your f of 1 equals. Then it's comma. F of x equals f of x minus 1. Then it's plus whatever your difference is. Your common difference. Okay, and if your common difference is negative, then it's a minus. So I do want to see you writing the recursive for the linears. You don't need to write them for the quadratics unless you remember how to do it. It's a lot more tricky than the linear. The linear is pretty easy and straightforward, but the quadratics not so easy. So that's your ready. Now you're set. I am not going to do an example of these. You just need to know for those ones. Actually, let me just do this. You will be using that formula for A through D, and you'll be using the continuously for E. So that's what you're plugging into. Annually, in is 1, semi 2, quarterly 4, and then daily they give it to you. So you're plugging in. Now what's the important information from here? 15 years, 7,000, 6%. So I pointed it out here. I'm not going to point it out in 8. You will need to do this on another piece of paper. Okay? Use other paper for this one. If you don't have paper, get it off the microwave. There's plenty of paper there. All right. And then in 9, I kind of like 9. You're only going to make one. You're going to have a graph with all 3 of these. So please use other colors. I would like to see 3 colors here. Label them ABC when you guys are drawing them so I know which is which. You are plugging in. So don't use a calculator here. We have gone over this with the logs. You have 2 to the negative 2, which is 1 over 4. You better be able to do that without a calculator. I don't want to see decimals here. Okay, actually do the work. So I'm not going to do those ones because that should be pretty easy for you. The only one that might be a little tough is C, because you guys have to go through and get the decimals. But this is already done in your task. So you could at least use that to check. Try and do your table without looking back first, but then you can look back and check to see if you actually got it. All right. Now, in the next part of this set, what point do all 3 functions share? Look at your graph. Okay, so 10 is going to go with the graph that's on the other page. Please make sure you don't get confused with that. Now 11. 11 is giving you multiple functions. You have f, g, and h. So it's asking you to order them from least to greatest. So then A, it's asking you to order them when x is greater than 0. So I would try when x equals 1. So in each of those equations, you're going to plug in 1. But do you really have to do that again? No, because you've already done this in the table back in number 9. So get your values from there. You've already done the work. And then order them. When x is less than 0, use -1. That's less than 0. So get these from your table. From number 9. Get those values and then order them. Tell me, is it h of x, g of x, f of x? Order them that way. Okay, I would like you to write the whole equation out, but if you don't, that's fine. Write an expression that describes the relationship between f of x, g of x, and h of x when x equals 0. So again, you can get this from your table, and this is your expression. You're going to write it like that right there. Okay? But you may not be using those symbols. You may be using equal sign, or you may be using greater than, or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So think about that. Okay? So you're going to do that like number 11. They're just not filling in spaces for you. All right. Now the last one. This is using your properties of logs. So you might want to get out your foldable from logs to help you with this one, because I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. I really think that you guys should be able to do this by now. And just so you know, there is not a quiz for these 4 sections. It's just a test. And on your test, you will have properties of logs. Want to make sure that you still are using them, you're learning them. And maybe if you didn't do so good on the test for the first half of Module 2, maybe this will help you to do better on these ones in the second half. So use your foldable here. Take your time with this. Please make sure you're checking your answers. Don't overthink these. These are really simple. For example, if I'm looking at number 12, it's saying log base 7 of 1 equals 0 because 7 to the something equals. You are rewriting this. Okay? Please make sure that you're just using the properties. Don't think too much. And that's really all I have to say for that. I think that's really it. Make sure you're checking your answers, and then when I get back, I will help you with whatever you have questions on.